All right, welcome everybody. It's Brandon Clayman and Jordan Gardner. And today we are going to dive deep into the inbox. Everything you're going to learn today is all related to email marketing. So before we get into the content, just a quick intro. So my colleague here is Jordan Gardner, who is a senior marketing agency partner with Conscious Commerce. He's been here just over a year now. And Jordan has an extensive background, 10 plus years in digital, strong focus in search engine optimization and Google advertising or paid ads. Anything else you want to add to your
my intro there? Well, thank you for that, Brandon. Yeah, as you said, my name is Jordan, marketing agency partner here at Conscious Commerce. Wide range of digital knowledge. I love working with our clients through email marketing, paid advertising, search engine optimization, website builds, and beyond. And I'm just happy to be here with you, Brandon, today to go over the power of the inbox.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. A couple of other quick things. We are Constant Contact's #1 worldwide rated partner and have been for many, many, many years. There's very few other partners out there that are able to consistently deliver the level and quality of service, and with that comes performance. And so this webinar today is really driven around how to get the most performance out of the email marketing channel. And we'll ask you guys questions as well. And you can ask us any questions you want. Just use the questions box. Jordan will also try to engage you throughout the process. So look for messages and things like that. We're a full service agency. We've been established in 2004. We offer all of these services. We do a great job with web design, and really the monthly managed services are what we do best. We also provide a free complimentary consulting program. We've called this our managed account program. If you'd like to have an intelligent conversation around internet marketing, digital marketing on any particular channel, all we need really is access to a product. We'll look at the numbers together and provide you with our assessment and insights as to how you can improve your overall success and reach your digital marketing goals. That's a free complimentary service. If anybody's interested, you can easily book us directly. Okay, so really quick before I dive in, just raise your hand if you are an existing client of Constant Contact, and or if you're already doing professional email marketing. I'd love to know. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Carolina. Awesome. So, and there's a few others here that are all pretty much in there. If you want to use the questions box to respond, that would be also helping me to help you based on the pace that I'm going to go and the kind of like how in-depth knowledge I'm going to share with you. So like maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're an email marketing master and 1 being what's email, let me know in the questions box kind of where you think you are. Are you a 10, the #1 email marketing marketer in the world, or are you a 1 kind of new and just getting yourself started? It'd be great to get your feedback in the questions box. All right, so let's dive right into it. Email marketing is literally everywhere. It's been around, it's probably one of the oldest marketing channels. Like the internet came first, and then like, or actually I don't even know, maybe email did, and then the internet, but they were really just born, in the 70s. And we found that this channel has been the most lucrative in terms of ROI. You get three times more of the conversions than you would on social. And for every $1 spent in email, you would earn an average of $44 in your ROI. So that's a huge, huge win already out of the gate. These numbers have been consistent from the beginning. People love email, they read it, they express an interest in wanting your content, and people are checking their email all the time. I mean, if I ask you right now, how many times are you checking your email a day? I bet you it's at least 5 to 10 times. So exactly, like 500 times maybe. So it's important to recognize that email has been here for a very long time, and it's continuing to evolve with newer and more effective ways to market using the channel. It's incredibly reliable. You know, in terms of the email being delivered, you'd see that if you send off an email campaign to 1,000 people, at least 900 recipients will get that communication. So deliverability is really, really strong. Unfortunately, on organic inside of Facebook, if you do a post and you have 1,000 followers, you have to pay to play in that space to get the reach. Where email, that's again why it's cost effective as a channel. Very good stuff there. Don't forget to hit that booking link if you want to have an in-depth conversation one-on-one with Jordan. He'll go over your email account for you, and his links are going to be in the chat window. I've delivered this presentation a lot, and over the years, I mean, the content has been refreshed a few times, but the foundation of this channel is pretty much the same. So again, if you want me to go over anything with you, or if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask. That's cool. So here's what we're going to cover today is why email marketing, harnessing the power of the inbox, a lot of best practices, and then putting it all together, bringing it to life, and getting those results that we're all going after. So yeah, let's just go right into it. So there's a lot of different email marketers out there. Has anybody seen what's on the left? That classic, bulk email. I got one of these today. And all of the email recipients were in it too, which was like a huge fail. If you're bulk sending and group sending, Google is meticulously monitoring whether you're real or not. And if they see that you're doing this kind of thing on the left, your account will be blocked. They will probably stop services too, because they're noticing you're abusing the resource. So there's security implications now, not just bad practice on making like emails look good or not. On the other hand, on the right hand side, this is one of our clients, the template that we've professionally designed. You're looking at a premium template. That's the way in which we're preferring and using as a standard moving forward on the creation of a beautiful design template that can be used for a wide range of things. Regular email just simply doesn't work anymore. Not going to get into all the details other than what you're currently seeing. The main one I would suggest is that there's no reporting, and you don't really know if your email was delivered. So deliverability is a big factor, and you have no idea of like how successful your email campaign was, other than if somebody responds to you. And those are some of the key things. No design control as well, and spam is a big deal today. People really respect their privacy, and they just don't want to be they don't want to be in a situation where they're not allowed, or that they can't get off your list. So the creation of and by the way, through our partnership with Constant Contact, like this is their content, but we're presenting it as one of their authorized speakers and trainers out there. So you'll see some of their templates in here too, like these on the left. So yeah, email marketing, when you're using an ESP, an email service provider, gives you the ability to create incredibly designed, mobile-friendly templates. So a large part of it is also brand, focusing on their brand. I was talking to a prospect today, and they have like a larger sales cycle, and they need brand awareness. And so email marketing could be easily used for that, because you'll notice the logos are right on the top there. Quick and easy for people to really pay attention to who is this, who's sending it. A lot of good benefits, like we were saying, why to use email. Track results is a big deal for us. Jordan and I are data scientists, and we really need to make sure that that the campaigns are performing well, and checking the health of it, and what do we do to optimize to improve the performance of the campaign. What transactions came out of that campaign. We track revenue as well with email campaigns for more e-commerce driven clients. So let's get into list growth. Part of email marketing and where some people fumble is, list growth. How do you make this happen? How do you get to plus 30% list growth year over year? That's a minimum that has to happen. first of all, we need to get permission. So essentially, the way in which we ask for you to sign up to the newsletter is how that's done. So it's usually done in an opt-in form, and we get express consent. It's really important to make sure that we're asking in the correct way and level setting the person who wants to sign up to the newsletter, letting them know what they're going to get, who's it from, let them know they can opt out, and that we're not selling their information to anybody. Or if you are, let them know. And that's on them to decide whether or not they want to join your newsletter. It's a horrible practice to ever say to anybody that they sell their stuff. And the crazy thing about this is that because nobody reads the terms of service, and if you like give your email address to a bigger institution, they will 100% sell that data. They do, like Facebook and all these places, they sell your information all the time to other marketers. So be aware. You know, try once in a while, read the terms of service. So list growth can be done in a few ways. We've got the print world. So if you're in retail, I'm just curious how many of you are in retail or, you know, in an environment where there's a physical office space, like even a professional, like in a lawyer's setting, you know, you can easily have signage for people to join newsletters and things like that. Okay, good to know. So signage is one, business cards, you know, all print related materials, you know, flyers, brochures, direct mail. Another cool tech that's come back, which I thought was going to be dead. Like I honestly didn't think there was any revival opportunity. It's the QR code. The QR code has made its mainstay now. Every restaurant, everywhere you go. So you can't say COVID's all bad, right? You know, at least the QR code made it. It survived COVID, and it's great because you can use a QR code to get someone to sign up to your newsletter, and it's print. You don't. This is not digital. Like it's a printed thing. So you scan the QR code, and all phones now have a built-in scanner for it. So that's a cool way to get some list growth happening. And then all the rest of it is done online. So adding the opt-in form to your website, social media. A lot of our platforms now have direct sign-up links, so they can easily be shareable links across all the different channels, spaces, and places. Google My Business can be used to have people sign up to your newsletter. And online purchases through e-commerce and great things like that. Online events and webinars. You guys signed up to our webinar. Guess what? We have your email address. We're going to market to you. So that's that. And really what it comes down to when you're looking at list growth is what percentage of my, like how much am I growing my list in a year? And you need to be at least at 30% in order for you to break even, because the average industry standard for attrition is 30%. So you're going to lose 30% of your list for a wide range of reasons. So you have to at least know that if your list is at 1,000 today, in a year from now, it has to go to at least 1,300. And with the unsubscribes, you'll probably net it out at 1,000. So it'll be at the end of a year still 1,000 with the 300 in there being with the growth. So if you really want to make this work, you've got to go way past 30%. So think of all the reasons why or how you can get people signing up to your newsletter. As well, we've done other presentations in the past, 60 ways to grow your list. So there's an endless amount. And if you want to flush out a strategy around that, again, just hop on a call with us. We'll happily do that for you. We don't charge for consulting. We charge for results. So why would people subscribe to your newsletter? And this is, again, if you were to just put your newsletter out there and say, hey, sign up to my newsletter, nobody really does that unless you're Apple or Nike or like huge brands that people really want to follow. And not everybody's in that same space. So really what it comes down to is, looking at what is your most compelling, persuasive, relevant reason for engaging your audience to get them to sign up and give you their information, their private sensitive email address. Which is even more valuable today than it was 10 years ago, and increases its value because of the digital equity in that asset. It's an enormously important data point that is like way more valuable than a like on Facebook. So you have to come up with a really effective strategy to get people to sign up Make it relevant. You know, are you going to have, like, are they going to get an instant, will there be any instant gratification? So the classic is you know, if I'm on a shoe website and I sign up for their newsletter, am I going to get a coupon on a pair of shoes for my first time purchase? Very relevant offer. You see that happening all the time, and that's why those companies do very well. They also know when you're a first time visitor, and they also know when you're a returning visitor, and we have the same platform technology as well. So, but yeah, relevance is important, and you want to make sure that you're doing the best you can, like as an empathic marketer, trying to better understand the needs and interests of your audience, because ultimately this is all about them. What do they get? You know, it's great to be able to market like this, but ultimately if you want performance we intend for you to get, you've got to connect with your audience, and the message has to be right. So these are some of the reasons why people would unsubscribe. Just boring content, or it's just not relevant. It's just spammy. I don't know who these, and also some people don't know who you are. A lot of people sign up for a bunch of, like, tons of newsletters, and they kind of forget what, you know, why. So if it's not fresh and exciting, you know, you're not going to do well. By the way, if you want, you can send us a preview. This is one of the freebies that we offer. If you want to go ahead and send an email preview to Jordan, then he'll critique your campaign for you and give you a few key points that you can either implement yourself, or if they're over your head, then you can hire us to do it for you, no problem. But this you'll see here, right for your audience, not for you. So this was Dunbar Lumber. This was a template and campaign that we set up. They launched a new website. It's a website that allows for e-commerce. So it was really a service to the clients, and that was launched over a year ago, and that's what a professional campaign looks like. Less is more. I'll always agree with that one. You know, the cool thing about email is that you can always link to another source. You can ideally link to your website, your blog, your service offerings. So 3 is a magical number in marketing, and it's critical to recognize that that in email, because you have so many different devices and screen sizes and things you don't have the full design control as we'd like to have. You have to do the best you can to keep the email focused and relevant and stay on track. So 3 articles max, 3 images or less, no more than 3 calls to action. And we've proven that that's absolutely a really good strategy moving forward. So more on content. So on the left, you see there's questions, and you've got like so if these are just examples, like how do I deduct the mileage I drive for volunteering, goes into a really cool article for your top 3 mileage deduction questions. An integrated marketing strategy would be looking at your email content and connecting that to your website content. And if you have an SEO strategy in place, you're going to want to stay connected to that. Your keywords are your underlying foundational strategy for almost all things marketing in digital. So you want to make sure that you're being consistent too, and reusing content, repurposing content. So you don't have to do all, like, double the work. You know, you can take an article that's on your site. We're visual creatures, and I think that a large part of what makes email very successful is that you can create compelling communications, visual communications. So we always like to have feature ads with images, content, not tons of content. We try to drive the traffic to the website. On the website, there's more moving parts, more video, visuals, but very important to recognize that. So, you know, again, like if you're in like the legal space, or you're used to reading a lot of content, then that's a different type of audience. But generally speaking, humans love that visual impact. So photos, working with photos, got to make sure that the sizes are right. I don't know how many times I've seen, Jordan and I have seen these emails and a client throws in a picture, literally the size of this girl on the right, in an email template, and we're like, that's a big no-no. It's just not going to work. So size it right, buy your images, or make sure you're using images that you have permission to use and you have consent. If you want, give credit to the photographer as long as they're okay with it. Use your own pictures. Find stock images. So big tip there is just resize your image in advance, and also name the image properly and make sure that the image itself has like it's got like a tag on there that you've in the cat. There's a way to Jordan, what is it?
You can add some alt text to those images, and then that helps visually impaired subscribers still understand what you're trying to show to them. And another good tip there is just always link images back to your website. Ultimately, you want to try to get that user from your email to your website. You can further control that experience.
Yeah, that's it. You know, if you have an email campaign with an image in it and without a link, you've just almost reduced your overall performance by half. Other key best practices are, you know, keep the key, like the primary message above the scroll line. Again, with email, you don't have all day to be marketing to people. So, and in any marketing space, really. So you want your primary, you know, the most effective call to action to be above the scroll line. And that can be in the form of an image with text. So you can see here, one of our clients is an online retailer and wine producer. So this is above the scroll line, our favorite patio sippers, nicely designed, easy to get to, branding's in place. They just click the link and away they go to buy some wine online. And that's a good example of a, you know, singular call to action above the scroll line. You know, this is another example of consistency. So, you know, if you're going to do integrated marketing, then, you know, you want to make sure that your branding's in check across all your channels. Same language, images, text, font sizes, that kind of stuff. That's basic marketing 101. Different types of communications. So as part of a strategy today, and this is Jordan for that prospect, they've never used email. They're a big data company. So I said to them, the strategy should be one newsletter a month as a general communication, just brand awareness and just, you know, what's new and exciting in our world. Maybe our software platforms changed, evolved. Maybe there's an article on big data you want to discuss. Then the other aspect would be a promotional or sales-driven campaign that's more segmented and targeted to a list of just prospects. So I suggested a couple emails a month, one general, like a newsletter, and then the other one is more targeted, sales-focused on getting a single call to action accomplished, which is really a live demo of their software program. So your strategies can be different across all different companies and purpose and use cases for email marketing. Nowadays, we use a single column template. These are some of the best practices. Again, keeping it simple, 3 images or less, 20 lines of text, no more than 2 to 3 links per paragraph, and action above the scroll line. So hopefully you caught all of that. Anybody have any questions so far about any of this? Okay. So you're all masters at email. Good. Okay. Next. Important critical factors to getting your email opened. First of all, who's it from? So put your company name in the from name. Same with a professional email address. Use your domain name. Don't use Gmail or Hotmail or Outlook or anything weird like that, or Yahoo. And then making sure that you have like an actual, like we typically with that email would be like news at, would be good. So company name, news at, you know, your domain name, like in our case, cc94.com. And then the subject line piece is a really critical thing. So a lot of the time too, there's companies out there that just put like, June newsletter in the subject line. That's boring. That's going to get deleted and people are going to unsubscribe. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a compelling subject line, because a third of people will decide whether or not to open your email based on that subject line. So you've got to make sure it's really effective. Is it worth reading? So, if you're driving forward with a promotion, then put that in the subject line. If there's some time sensitive event that you're promoting, then that's what you would say. Hey, register by June 30th, and to unlock the early bird pricing. So really critical stuff. Don't use your company name in the subject line because it's already in the from. So that's just a waste of space. 30 to 40 characters max. We also have done a presentation, or we have other ones just on subject lines, because of how critical they are to making or breaking a campaign. That's really the starting point of that. There's pre-header text as well. So on mobile, you can see, as well as in Gmail, there's additional information that can be used. It's almost like a sub headline of, it's called pre-header. So it's essentially an extension of your subject line, and you can use that and kind of toggle between the two, or use your secondary call to action in the pre-header area. Stay away from like spammy words, and try to stay away from free and those kinds of things too in that area. There's the pre-header over here. Bless you. So Hapoon Yoga, then Acro Yoga at 10,000 feet, you in, and then there's the pre-header down here. So just a quick summary of what we discussed, of like things not to use, like I just mentioned, like these kinds of words and stuff. Just they get spammed, like the spam filters pick those up, so then your email doesn't get delivered. So we've also found out that email works very well with other channels. It plays nice, and it kind of like is a glue. It's a synergy channel that pretty much can work well with almost all channels. So if you look at emails with social media buttons, increase the click-through rate by 158%. It's a basic strategy. Just work towards expanding and diversifying your marketing and your messaging and all your accounts that you have by doing this kind of thing. So add your social profiles to your email marketing. If you're busy on YouTube, make sure you're embedding video into your emails as well. That's a good strategy. So let's chat metrics. Email is a in terms of like the core metrics, you have your open rate, your list size is also a metric, and the growth of that list, like in terms of the growth rate of your list. But the classics are your open rate and then your click-through rate. And you'll see here some averages in the industry. It depends too on like how often you're sending your emails. We have clients that have open rates of anywhere from 3 to 5%, but they're sending like 2 to 3 emails a week to a large list. So some have 20, 30%. I just looked at a Benjamin Moore dealer that we work with. It's a 35% open rate. So it varies. But opens, back to this, just one thing, the open rate also influences how much a person's interested in your content as well. And we do our best to send these campaigns at the most, like when is the most effective time for a person to open the communication. The tools we use for email marketing, some of the tools we have automatically will identify when the best time to open is. And those are more advanced technologies that we have available.
Hey, Brent, I just want to add one thing to opens there before we move on to clicks. Right now is a very, very key time to be testing your open rates. If any of you have heard the changes from iOS that are coming up, especially starting with iOS 14 of last year and iOS 15 of this new year, your native mail apps are going to be changing the way that they track opens, and open rates may become more and more less valuable as we're hiding, or iOS is basically hiding that type of data. So before the fall, I highly recommend everybody test a variety of different things in your emails, from subject lines to pre-headers to times of day to days of week, and even your from lines, to get an idea of what your audience is engaging with currently in a situation down the line where we don't have that key metric of open rate to really rely on. Just formatted that in there.
Yeah, that's great, George. Thank you. Definitely feeling the impacts on Facebook marketing and other digital channels. So, and on that note too, you know, as governments and big business get more involved with this, now they see how, like, well, they've known, but now they're more hungry. Unfortunately and fortunately, governments in Canada are now charging tax on all these subscription-driven based products and things. So you'll see, like, if you're doing Google advertising, then you're going to not be paying GST or HST or PST, depending on where you are located if you're in Canada. Yeah. I mean,
we're rapidly heading towards Web 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever we're at now. It's going to be a big change in the next couple of years, which is exciting and terrifying at the same time.
I think it adds legitimacy to the channels, and you know, more of a mature sense. Like, it's no longer the Wild West, you know, the digital realm. It's actually, no, these are real legit products, and they are subject to the same kinds of, like everything else. So at the end of the day, your click-through rate is really the largest single factor of success in a campaign. You know, that's really what we look for, because from the click, we're really seeing that, what are they doing? That's the doing part, you know, on your site, and what's happening there and all that good stuff. And so you wanna get those click-throughs through the roof. We've done that so many times for our clients where they've come to us with like Pandora Jewelry, with a click-through rate, I kind of, like, it was like 0.02%. It wasn't even, they had a 0% click-through rate. We got them to like 10 or 12%, and they were tripping out. Like, we made a huge case study out of it. It was a massive win. They had a 6-figure list size, and it was a wonderful experience to bring that to them. So, so if they don't open, then there's, back to what Jordan was saying, test new methods, change up subject lines. You know, there's a variety of tactics that you can utilize in the channel to improve the deliverability. And don't be sad, like, if you send an email out and you only have like a 10% open rate. There's ways to improve that. You know, it just depends on how you're approaching it. If they unsubscribe, you can get feedback from them. They can give you reasons for why. You know, expectations are usually not met, or, you know, people just, for whatever reason, if they have too many emails coming in, you just might be on the hit list. It might not be you personally or your company, but it's just too many emails. People feel inundated. Monday is a horrible day to send out emails, because people are only going on their priority list. So if they see like a promo-based email, they're going to unsubscribe unless they really love the brand, which is another whole other marketing challenge and opportunity. The unsubscribes are typically less than 1% per campaign, which again ties into that 30% attrition rate. So you always have to be thinking, how am I going to grow the list? And we don't ever recommend buying a list. It's never a good idea. Bounces, there's tons of reasons for them, mostly just bad email addresses. And we really ask that if you are going to work with us, don't give us a bad list that we have to clean using our tools. That's not how we do this. If you're going to want to do it, then we're going to go through your list with you, and you'll help clean it up before we actually send off your first campaign. That's a more respectful way of using the channel. If you have low opens, again, from name has to be clear. Maybe make it shorter and more succinct. So like for us, we go with Conscious Commerce, not Conscious Commerce Corporation. It's a little bit more focused, and really keep working those subject lines. use split testing as a way to optimize your subject line metrics. If you don't have good clicks or low clicks, and you've implemented all of our best practices around, image links and adding 2 to 3 links per paragraph, you're going to have to up your game around the core messaging in your campaign. What is your single offer? Maybe you only need one offer moving forward. Get people to focus. Again, split testing is another great way to identify that. Shortening the email is always a good idea. Really think about mobile first. If you do all your marketing mobile first, you'll be the best marketer in the world. So that will help you improve overall. High metrics, high opens, high clicks. Then you're really going to want to optimize when is the best day and time to be sending. And yeah, segmentation would be the next best thing to be doing there. Segmenting is critical to long-term success in email marketing. Because if you're sending the same emails, do you know what? Okay, here's someone asking, what is segmenting? Great question. So segmenting is when you have, let's say your list is, you have 100,000 contacts on the list, and then you have different lists. So you can have different lists for prospects and then clients. And that would be one example of how to segment. So if you wanted to send a different message to your prospects versus to your existing clients, that would help to make it more relevant to your audience and the message. And so you'll end up getting better results. That's a simple example of segmenting. There's a million ways that you can segment lists. A lot of the time people like to segment with an event. So like, what event did you attend? Then you can send a communication relevant to the event that they went to. And you can tag them, you can build different lists. There's a wide range of ways to do it. Constant Contact has all those functions built in now. Most email providers have that too. High clicks, format links to stand out, offer links to preferred content. So yeah, you want to enrich the value of the content. If they're already giving you enough interest, how do you expand on that even more? So you can check the click reports and find out of your overall campaign which of those clicks were the best and the highest, and then continue to concentrate and focus in that direction. This is sort of the anatomy of an email template. So we've talked about subject lines, brand color schemes, that all has to be in check. Stick to the 3s. Font sizes need to be the right for setup for mobile. Your brand needs to be easily identified. Feature ads, single column, social media, it's all there. And I think that's basically it, guys. This has been delivered a bunch of times. There's a lot of information here. What I'd like to do is just let you know that our next event is in July, and Jordan's going to be presenting this for all things Google Ads. And Jordan just got 100% on his exam for Google Ads certification.
Been doing it for a while now. I expect those 100%.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. Though it's great that you went through that. So next month is the focus channel is going to be on search engine marketing, specifically Google search. That's a great presentation. If you're new to that, you'll learn a lot. Jordan's got a lot of knowledge in that space. But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty quiet. People haven't asked a whole lot of questions today, but does anybody have anything before we wrap this up? Okay, well, thank you so much for attending our webinar. We do these once a month, and if there's anything you want to know further, just send an email to us. All the links and everything are there. Register for the next event. You're not going to want to miss that one. It's definitely more advanced marketing and presented by a really great, knowledgeable marketer. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next month. Okay, take care. Bye.